Hello there, welcome back to the Uneducated Businessman here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to empower everyone you lead, how to put people in charge of their own work, and how to create an environment where everyone feels inclusive. And again, like all my videos, it's just simple, easy to follow tips that you can implement with hardly any effort whatsoever. And let me tell you what I used to do. I used to assume I was the smartest man in the room. I used to assume that nobody could do anything as well as I could. And what I did was I become a busy fool. I paid people to literally watch me doing their jobs because I never trusted people. I never thought anyone could do anything as good as me. So I had staff, and I would invariably get involved in their work, take over their work and do it myself, and they would just sit there like that, put their feet up, have a good time, watch me do it. And I would then run around spinning so many plates, trying to do so much, trying to take on everything. All I did was make myself sick. I actually put myself in hospital. Things got so bad. As the company was growing, there was so many plates to spin, and I was spinning them all and scared of dropping everything. So I worked harder and harder and harder. Staff worked less and less and less. And one day I practically, what I did, I collapsed, ended up in hospital, thought I had a heart attack. And it was more a panic attack, I think, at the time, but I was just exhausted. I was just literally done. And I got to that state because of my own ego. I just assumed I was the best. I assumed nobody could do anything as well as I did. And I never let people try. I never let people get to the stage where they had the ability to prove to me they could do better than I could. And now what I do is I spin it completely the opposite. I assume everybody in the room is smarter than me. I assume everybody's got more skill than me. I assume they're all better than me. Because by assuming that, I can then trust them to do their jobs. I can pay them for what I need them to do, and I can have the confidence that they're going to do it, and they're going to do it better than I can. And I would say in almost every situation they do. They know their job. That's their job. I can do it to a reasonable level if I need to, but they will do it better than I can. So just by assuming they can do it helps me, and it helps them have the environment where they are trusted, and it helps them have the ability to just be creative and get on with things. And it doesn't always work. Obviously, people do fall down and people do make mistakes. But here's the other thing you need to do as well. You need to know your staff, and or your teammates. You need to spend a lot of time with them, because assuming they can do it is great. It does give you that freedom in your mind that you can trust people. But obviously, you've got to make sure you know they can do it as well, and you've got to make sure you spread your time between everybody, because here's the part about being inclusive. If you are just focusing on one or two employees and you've got 5 or 6 over here, you're missing out all the time. They're not going to feel included. You're not going to have an inclusive environment for people to want to work in and progress. So you, as a leader, you have to divide your time up between everybody, and you have to show as much interest in this person to this person. You can't miss people out. You can't be interested in some of the people and not some of them, because it's just going to divide. I made a mistake in the past where I had a woman in my business and I just didn't like her. It's very rare for me not to like people, but I just could not bring myself to even be warm to this person. I alienated. It's really unlike me, but there was something about this person that reminded me of someone who I had a problem with in the past, and I just couldn't bring myself to be close to this person. And I would spend time with others and constantly leave this poor lady out. And that was my fault, that was my mistake. You know, in actual fact, when we come together and we had a conversation, she was open and honest with me about how I made her feel. I had a realization that I just treated her awfully, and I made a conscious effort to change it, and we did change it. We ended up actually having a really good working relationship where she started to thrive and feel appreciated and did very well, and I respected her and appreciated her, and actually got to know a different side of her that from the side that reminded me of this other person, and I could move on myself and she could move on as well. And I did it by asking questions and being interested, and okay, I needed that kick, I needed that initial, wait, you're ignoring me, Lee, you know, what's going on? But that was okay, because as I spoke in the other video, you have to take responsibility, you have to own up and say if you've made a mistake. And that's what I did. I took responsibility, I owned up, I explained, I was honest why I kind of overlooked her, and she kind of accepted that, but we agreed to draw a line under it and move forward, and that's what we did. I took ownership and we moved forward. And you need to know your team members well, and you need to share your time with team members. And a good way to do it is always, and it is so simple, just ask questions. So I've got a few questions. I'm going to check my notes, but I've got a few questions that I've written down, because let me get my questions up. It differs from staff members. You know, you've got new employees, you've got established employees, and you've got temporary employees. So some tips on new employees. When you need to get to know them, ask them a few questions like, what life experiences do you have that isn't on your CV? And ask them, what are they most eager to do within the role that they're employed to do? They're two really great questions that will enable them to open up to you as a new employee and let you know more about them and what they want. And you can learn from that. Different questions altogether for long-term employees, because maybe you're going to know that, and you're going to know about their experiences that wasn't on their resume because you've had that time to be with them. So with them, you need to find out and ask them, how are their goals and interests and skills shifting? You know, what are they learning now that they didn't have before, and where do they see themselves shifting to in the future? What do they want? You know, what extra do they want? You know, and ask them, what's new? What's going on? You know, what's new in their world? Things always change. You know, there could be problems, there could be new and exciting things to look forward to that you don't know about. But just taking time to ask that will give you a much better insight into them as a person. And for temporary employees, you know, ask them what else they've done professionally and what would they like to learn and achieve from the assignment you've brought them in to temporarily manage. And these questions are questions I'm asked in all the time, whether or not they're new, existing, or temporary. It will change, because I want to learn as much as possible. And I would always have informal chats with staff. You know, it's not all about business, it's not all about projects and what they've done and what they're going to do. I want to find out what makes them tick. What do they do in their spare time? What do they enjoy? Because you may find in their spare time they do something that's really aligned with a project you want to bring into your business. And if they're working on something like that in their spare time, I don't know, maybe if they're working with children, educating children or something, and they're giving up their time to do that, and you've got a product that's aligned with children, you could use their skills, you could use their knowledge, you could use what they've found out through their volunteering to help them build a project within your business. And if you don't ask these questions, you don't know. And just by asking these questions and showing interest, your staff and your team members will respond to you really, really positively. That's not a word, is it? Positively, that's the word. So be interested and include everybody. Don't leave people out. Don't make the mistake I made by alienating people. Spend some time with everybody and even it out. so everybody gets a piece, and everybody's going to be happy with that. They're all going to feel listened to, they're all going to feel included, they're going to know you as a leader understand them, and they're going to want to do more for you. Anyway, that's it for me. I am going to do another video now, and I'm going to start on a business course as well. Rather than I'm going to continue with leadership, not stopping there. Many more videos to come on leadership, but I want to talk about businesses as well and how to analyze businesses. So I'm going to start a new playlist on businesses, and the next video, let me read my notes, and I need my glasses because of my age. The business model canvas. I'm going to talk about the business model canvas, and what that is how you can analyze your business to make sure it's geared up for success, or how you can analyze another business maybe you want to buy to make sure it's geared up for success, and you can see the changes you need to put in to bring it on. So that's coming up soon, and look out for that, and I will be back tomorrow with another video on leadership. Take care. Bye now.